express my gratitude to the subscriber Jay who found my address and sent me this nice shirt. I'm not sure how you did it, but thank you. And I actually like this shirt. I think it does good, and because I like it so much, I'm gonna be wearing it on set today. I am going to be pairing this shirt with my regular attire as we get ready to get on set. And I think that we're ready. Hey boy. All is well. Let's get some work done. So hot in the news while I get ready is a situation where we see a student at GC Foster College who has been placed in an uncomfortable situation in that he was requested to cut his hair in order to continue his attendance. This is a male student, and this is not surprising based on the country that we are in. So in the Jamaican system, many persons believe that we have far left colonialism, but the truth be told, colonialism still exists, and many persons practice segregation. Many persons practice colorism. We see nepotism in the government structure. We see cronyism. We see all kind of isms taking place. So a situation in which one is being forced to disconnect with who they are to fit a narrative in pursuit of higher education is something that is not uncommon in Jamaica. But in a modern time of the year 2024, moving into 2025, we should have moved past that and those situations. We should have adults being allowed to select for themselves what is in their best interest as they move forward and integrate into society. These practices are actually discriminatory, even though you may not want to look at them as that. But to put sanctions which have no direct merit in terms of implications, or they do not impact the process of the individual being educated, and it does not impact the conduction or the transfer of the educated to the students who will be educated by that individual, that there is a problem. For far too long we have seen where even in the primary school we have students being rejected. We have seen it in the high schools where because of certain appearances you are not allowed to continue your education. So you are being disenfranchised just for being yourself. Yes, sonny boy. I'll be with you shortly. That is not wearing this today. So what is happening is that we are seeing that many persons, thank you, have been disenfranchised just because they are who they are. And this brings us to a situation that a lot of challenges exist in Jamaica. And the first challenge that we need to tackle as a people is the emancipating ourselves, the emancipation of ourselves from mental slavery. What's up, son? So, none of my children have had their hairs cut. None of them. And for that reason, I have to stand with those who decide that in their best interest they don't want their hair to be cut. They don't want any chemicals to be applied to their hair. So none of my sons, none of my daughters, no one under my authority has been authorized to cut their hair. But if they decide that they want to cut their hair, that is a decision that they will have to make independently. All right? But we have created an environment where they can choose not to. And that is why, as young people, as people who want to make change for change, you have to put yourself in a position where you have the capital to just say, hey, you don't want me here in this country, I will go elsewhere. I will study internationally. And for many persons, that is the course of action, because in other jurisdictions, especially in the United States, where I have done majority of my post-secondary education, there is a rule, or there is a law which prevents discrimination based on your hair style and how you appear, especially as a person with melanin, based on the system of slavery that this country has recently come from. So, with all this being stated, it presents to us the idea that Jamaica is still in the system of the past, and they need to step up and get into the present dispensation so that we can effect change and not disenfranchise people who are here sacrificing themselves to serve the generation that is to come. So to put a young man in such an uncomfortable situation, a compromised position in which they had to choose just for the idea of being educated, they had to choose to cut or dissociate from who they are just so that they can be schooled again to go under another system of oppression, knowing good well that after the end of it all, they will have the choice. Sonny, let's let Daddy finish. They will have the choice of actually choosing to do something else. And many persons, after they have finished their teaching expose or their teaching education, they will not even practice in Jamaica, because they will realize very soon that the Jamaican education system is good in terms of the curriculum, especially in the post-secondary and the secondary area. It is very good, yes, but at the end of the day, the compensation is not one that you can encourage someone to enjoy. So, with that being stated, and that being said, the brain drain problem that Jamaica has been plagued with will continue. So, instead of disenfranchising people and telling them that because of how they look, because of the hair on the head, yes, you have your rules which were built on some colonial archaic structure in which the European, Eurocentric ideologies were imposed upon us, which is so to the advantage of them, so that we reject who we are and submit to who they desire for us to be. That there is something that has to be taken into consideration. And with that being taken into consideration, we need to come to the conclusion that not everything that happened in the past should be allowed to continue in the present dispensation. And with that said, Jamaica has a lot of problems, but we are here today and we can be the solution. Let us not push out those individuals who are trying to build the country. Let us not push out those individuals who are trying to aid in the system that is currently in effect. Let us seek to support them, let us seek to guide them, and let us just come to the realization that not because it is the rule means that those rules are rules that make sense. So sometimes I know that when you're in power, it's difficult for you to see the bigger scheme of things, and you want to exude or execute your power, your authority, and sometimes that causes you to be deaf in your ears. But today's the day that you have an opportunity to humble yourself and realize that we have made these mistakes in the past. We have seen how it has tarnished the image of our country, our nation, and we have seen how many persons' lives have been impacted adversely. We have seen where Rastafarians' hair has been cut. We have seen where people has been barred. We have seen where people has been trimmed without due cause. We have seen all of these things happening in the past. Let us not relive the past in the present. Let us fix the system that we have so that people can enjoy being a human being, especially African, or being ethnocentric, or being one from the Caribbean diaspora, being one that has melanin content, in embracing who they are. It is the same situation that we were forced as a people to do in terms of bleaching our skin. We were forced in terms of putting relaxers in our hair. All of these things are toxic. And then when we have the girls and the young women having difficulty getting pregnant, we wonder why is the birth rate not where it is supposed to be? Why all these young ladies have picky heads? Why all of these kind of things happen? But we don't realize that we are the ones as a people that said to them, hey, you are not accepted as who you are. So with all that said, we are going to have to dissect all of those problems and see if we can come to the solution as to how best we can aid our people in choosing what is in their best interest. It's time that we leave the colonial system behind and move into emancipation. Thank you for joining us and for spending some quality time with us here on RoadTripja, the heartbeat of Jamaica's road. Signing out from RoadTripja is Dr. A. Walk, ride, drive, and fly good. Until next time.